Hi, and welcome to the video on volumes of prisms and cylinders. By the end of this video, you should be able to find the volume of a prism and a cylinder and know the difference between the two. So let's start off with prisms. A prism is a solid with two identical faces that are separated by straight lines, such that if you were to cut the shape at any place along those straight lines, they would show the same identical face. Let's take a look at the rectangular prism. It has a front face that is a rectangle. And if I was to slice this rectangular prism along any part of those lines, I would get the same rectangle all the way through. This is called the cross section. If I want to find the volume of this rectangular prism, I will find the area of that rectangle and I'll multiply it by its height. Now in this context, the height is the distance between the front face and the back face. So we'll find the area of that front face and multiply it by all the faces all the way through to the back. Let's take a look at a triangular prism. Triangular prism has that front face that's a triangle, and if I was to slice along any part of those lines, I would get the same triangle all the way through. To find the volume of this triangular prism, I would need to find the area of that triangle and multiply it by its height. That is, the distance from the front triangle to the back triangle. Those are prisms. Let's take a look at a cylinder and notice the difference. A cylinder is sort of like a prism, in that it has a circular face, and it is the same circular face all the way through to the bottom. The difference between this and a prism is a technical definition. The definition of a prism is that it uses straight lines only, whereas a cylinder has curved sides. It doesn't take away from how you find the volume though. The volume of a cylinder is going to be found by finding the area of the circle and multiplying by its height, or the distance from one circle to the other. This gives us a general formula for the volume of cylinders and prisms, and that is that the volume will be the area of the cross section multiplied by its height. Now each of these shapes has a different formula for its area. For example, the rectangular prism, the area is length times breadth. So you'll take the length times the breadth and multiply it by the height. For the triangular prism, the area of the triangle is a half height times base. So the volume of a triangular prism will be a half height times base times the height of the solid. Try not to get those two heights mixed up. And finally, the volume of a cylinder will be the area of its circle, that is pi r squared, multiplied by its height. We're going to use a couple of these formulas in order to find the volume of some prisms and cylinders. So let's take a look at these two. We're going to find the volume of the triangular prism first. The volume of a prism is the area multiplied by the height. That is, for this triangular prism, the area is going to be a half the height times the base of that triangle, multiplied by the height of the triangular prism. So let's see if we can't get those measurements. First of all, the area of the triangle is a half times 4 times 5. That's 10. That's a half of 20. And we're going to multiply that by 10. 10 times 10 gives us a volume of 100 meter cubes. Remember, volume is in terms of cubes, the amount of space inside a shape. Let's take a look at that cylinder. The volume of this cylinder will be the area of the face, the circular face, multiplied by the height. That is, the volume is going to be pi times the radius squared for the circle, multiplied by the height of the cylinder. The volume is going to be pi multiplied by the radius squared. What do you think the radius is going to be of this cylinder? If you said 6, that is correct. So the volume is going to be pi times 6 squared multiplied by the height of the cylinder, which is 9. This gives us an answer that the volume is 1017.876 centimeters cubed. And I've rounded that off to 3 decimal places. So what should you write in order to get some good notes from this video? You should definitely summarize the cylinders, the triangular prisms and the rectangular prisms and their formulas, as well as the 2 worked examples that'll help you out with your working. And that's it. Hopefully now you have an idea about what a volume of a prism is and a cylinder is, and you know the difference between the two. Good luck.